Hi there, this is Brenda with Keenan Kreations, and today I have a project for you using the new Stampin Up Blendability Markers. To get started, I've already stamped the flower and stem and greeting. This is all from a stamp set called Bloom with Hope, and this is a hostess stamp set that you can earn with a 150 order or more. All of these images were stamped with the Memento Tuxedo black ink, and you need to use that ink when using the blendability markers. So I'm going to work with Rich Razzleberry, and Stampin' Up! Has them sold in sets of 3. You'll have a light, medium, and dark. You'll notice there's a brush tip on one end and a bullet tip on the other, and you can see a fine line here and a thick line there that goes all the way around. The other thing to notice about these is that when you open the cap, there's a little circle right in the center, and the tip of the marker will fit exactly in there. So instead of just sliding it in like we normally do, make sure that you set it on your table so it's on a flat surface, and then you can guide it in, turn it to make sure that you're not crooked, and then snap it in place. I like to use the dark color first, and I like to work with the brush tip. I'm going to work one petal at a time, and I'm going to try to pay attention to where the shadows would fall on this flower. So this petal right here is underneath this petal. So I know that there's going to be a shadow from that top petal right about here. I like to go in kind of a circular motion like this. I'm going to use the medium color next, and I'm going to go right next to it, again in that little circular motion. And I'm also overlapping that first color. That'll help to blend that, because you don't really want to see the start and stop lines. And then we're going to use the lightest color last. And be careful when you get to the edges so you don't go outside the lines. Go outside a little bit, that's okay. And again, I'm going over that medium shade just to make sure that's nice and blended. And I'm also going over that darker shade. And again, I like to use the darker color first. And I'm going to follow with the medium. And I just go that little circular motion, kind of squiggling it, and make sure that you overlap that last color. So then here's the lightest shade. And again, overlap. Now this petal here, we're going to have the shadow right about here. And I don't know how perfect I am with the shadow, but I think if you're close, it's going to be good. And again, I'm just kind of squiggling over the last color. And then this is going to be light here. And I'm going to use the medium right along the edge. I'm not going to use the darker shade though. And then go back to blend. And you're basically going to continue that process all around the flower. Now the blendability markers, like I said, are sold in sets of 3 for each color, and it's $11.95. At this time they are not refillable. I hope Stampin' Up! Will revisit that and offer us the option to refill them, but at this time they're not. But they are at a lower price point, so when they run out, you'll just replace them. They're very fun to work with, and I think they're very forgiving. You don't have any of the streaky lines with the water-based markers. And the other thing you'll notice when you're coloring with these, on the back, the color will bleed through. So you always want to make sure that you're going to layer this, and then this is not going to be the front of your card where you open it up and you see the back. So we're going to finish out these last few petals. Okay, so most of my flower is done. I'm going to go ahead and slide the caps on. Remember, set your marker down on a flat surface and your cap. Slide that in. I like to turn it just to make sure that that's not going on crooked, and then snap that into place. I'm going to use the lightest Old Olive marker for the stem, and I'm just going to run that up, and then I'm just going to use the darkest marker and run that up as well. I'm going to use the bullet tip just to make it a little easier to blend that. Now I'm going to use Pumpkin Pie and Daffodil Delight to color the flower center. So I'm going to start with I think this is the lightest color of the Pumpkin Pie, and I'm going to go right around the outside. And you can see this is marked medium for the Daffodil Delight. And then I'm going to finish with the light in the center. And I'm going to go back over that dark outside edge, that light Pumpkin Pie, and that medium Daffodil Delight, just to kind of blend that a little bit and brighten that up. Now the other thing that Stampin' Up! Sells is the color lifter, and I love to use this to kind of brighten up the project when you're finished. So if you think that you've gone a little dark in one area, you can use this and just go in a little circular motion. It'll get lighter as it dries. So you don't want to keep applying it until you see it get lighter, because it'll continue to get lighter and then it's going to end up too light. And then I also like to use it on the flower itself. So I just go right on this little outside edge, and I just go one time. You don't want to overdo it or it's going to end up being too light. But it just kind of helps brighten it up, and it also blends the colors a little bit more. You can see how using the color lifter around the petals brightens up the lighter sections and also helps to further blend the other colors. I hope you enjoyed today's project. For more ideas, please visit me at KeenanCreations.com. Thanks and have a great day.